Alright, welcome to Play and Explain number 7, I believe. I was recording earlier, but nothing happened, and I'm gonna play for 2 hours, so I figured, here I think we're mainly almost pure checking this end. I don't, yeah. Anyway, I'll talk about this hand in a sec. I've been, actually I'll talk after, I'll play the hand first. I think here he's not supposed to have many 8-6 that we don't have, because we have 8-6 suited, he has 8-6 suited, we don't have 8-6 off. So I think here we can actually kind of raise, but I just like the way my hand plays as a call. I'm, I'll look at it if sometimes you want. But top pair with the protection of the straight draw. And here I think we just have a clear block. We are chopping with everything, and we do block his bluffs, so we're gonna block here. And I think we both have a lot of 9x. He has a 7, so we got paid. I think here we can get in. I think ace 10. Oh, it's button cutoff. I think it never 4-bets then. I think we have the worst backdoor suit here, because I think when he range bets, we want to cooler other stuff. I don't know why he's checking this board. Just so odd. I think a lot of his checking range couldn't involve a jack. However, I still think my hand plays better as a bet. We never have kings or jacks. The check here is so weird. I think we're almost guaranteed just supposed to check again, and I'm gonna do that. I'm worried about pocket jacks, so I might just fold to a bet, and pocket queens. Because obviously, my straight is so not clean. And here I think we just have a clear check. I don't know what he's doing. We don't block. Okay, like, I'm not gonna say anything, I'm recording. This, oh, pocket tens here can mix folds. I'm trying to think versus this player if I do. Cut off. We'll call it. On a 39, I think I can actually start folding a good amount. And I honestly think I like the way fold plays versus squeeze. The squeezes are just so in general nutted. I think versus opponent, I like the way the range bet performs. Here on a 2, we're gonna call. Here he bets 10, and we're just gonna call. And here on this river, we are just going to bet big. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh my god, the gin card. Hopefully no one has Jack 9. Here when you block the calling range, I think we're just gonna block bet. I'm trying to think here if we want to shove, and I think the answer is yeah. Stacy is pretty tight though, but I still think our hand performs pretty good as a shove. Oh, I don't know why I tanked. Very ahead here. I think here we're just gonna call because of the player behind. Obviously, a 9 or a jack is pretty bad for us. We fade that. We have the stone nuts, right? Unless he has jack 9, which I don't think he's ever squeezing with. Gotta fade it over here. Pretty good. I think he kind of misplayed. I think he went too thin. But I think multi-way, his hand might be a check on the turn. I think it might be a check on the flop. Obviously, great spot. Well played. We stacked the guy over here. We stacked the guy whatever the fuck. What happened over here? There's a lot of shit to talk about. Oh, we block bet river. And you see these are the types of hand we're targeting with our call. With our block bet is Jack X. Or it's not the type of hand that he's calling with. It's the type of hand that is in his calling range. We're mainly targeting 9x is the range. But it's just hard for him to have anything, but I think our hand is too good to check. I think it could consider checking. If you're not playing block strategies, I think that hand is mainly a check. You just block so much of the calling range on the river. Yeah. It's different than having a set. When you have 2 pairs, you block 2 different types of hands that can call. I know it sounds weird, but yeah. I'll review it though. Also unblock the bluffing range pure on the river. Little Sunrunner with the pocket tens. Thank God we didn't fold. Sucks Greenway didn't have a set. If Greenway shoves though, I think Big more folds. There's no way he can call there. I don't know about his river shove's fine, but Because I think when you get to the river, your hand just performs so much better as a shove than a bluff catch. Because I don't think anyone reopens as the bluff there. So I'd rather just shove and stack like some guy calling with ace 10. I think in non-spot practice, I kind of just know he has a good hand though. Multi-way, I think people. King 6 could. He sized so big here that I think I'm gonna prefer fold, but we'll call sometimes. I'm just gonna prefer fold in the spot. Ugh, don't do it. Don't show me that. Where's the ace king deuce or some shit? Or the king king deuce board? That's what I'm supposed to see. I think jack 7 with a fish is gonna be an open. I think I should go 2x when the fish and the big is this short. 6 isn't gonna be opening pure. It's the lowest pocket pair that opens pure from under the gun. Okay, this one is more entertaining than the last one. I've actually played hands. I'm trying to think here what you do on these mono boards with the 6s here. I think the answer's check, but I could be wrong. I really don't know. I need to look at the spot, so I actually really want to look at the spot. I'm really understudied in some mono spots. I'm gonna bet a big blind here though, because it's king high. Okay, here I think we have to build a checking range, and this hand just seems perfect to do it. To be careful you're not over checking, so your betting range isn't too weak, because sometimes you can just check so much of your weak ace-x, and you need to still have enough ace-x, right? That's one problem I had for a while. I don't think it mattered though, personally. I think it still plays great. And I think here we just check again. We unblock all the bluffs. I don't know if our opponent is too bluffy. This guy is... I don't know. He sizes like this, it's kind of odd. I'm trying to think if we ever raise, and I think we just call. Such a shit fucking river. But is he betting 1/3 with a 7? Maybe pair plus 7? Okay, they're nice. I think this hand is 3-betting pure here. We will go to 11.5. Or no, we go to 12 versus... Actually, I like 11.5. Got the Cowboys down here. Show it to my dad. That's his favorite football team. He does size up. I think here you're calling like 2% of the time. We did not roll that. Not gonna be that guy, but I haven't run kings and aces in a minute. I think here we go to 35. I think here I would actually call a good amount of the time when he wins so big. I don't know. 8, 7, 9. I do expect him to have these hands a good amount. So I'm trying to think of what we do here. He does lead. I think our hand just wants to shove. When he leads, yeah. So unfortunate, man. King. He's too good. Just 3-bet 8s to 14 and hit a set. Okay, so we got stacked and then we got stacked again. I don't think I could have done anything differently in this end. I think you just shove here because like aces can consider calling, but a lot of his bluffs are gonna have an ace. They're gonna be hands like ace 10 suited, pocket 10s that lead, pocket jacks that could lead, ace jack that could lead. So I think you want to shove because I think ace 10 and pocket 10s are priced into call off, pocket 6s maybe. Obviously the guy just is too good at poker. So he flops the set. 8-7 here. I think on a 60, I think we can call here. I also think Greenway has a huge leak in his game in 3-bet pots. From what I've been seeing, he seems to just check it down and give up when he misses. So gonna be calling here because I think his c-bet range is actually pretty strong. I think also our hand performs pretty good as a call. King obviously not too good of a card for us, and I think we're going to be giving up. I think we have hands like king 10 and king jack. I think on the river here we just have no choice, even if the spot is overcalled. I think here sometimes there are hand 3-bets, but we'll call. We're playing heads up. Okay. Yeah, I'm not expecting to beat that. I think here we could do both. I think I'll check though. Maybe our hand should just be betting though. And here I'm gonna check evaluate. I expect him to be bluffing most of his jack X, but we will call river. What does he have? Ace what? Ace 8. Huh. That player is just too good for me. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty frustrated, not gonna lie. It is fine. I think his size is a little too big. You're supposed to actually size down the deeper you go, so the whole hand played out kind of weird. Because I had to 3-bet to a weird sizing. I mean 4-bet to a weird sizing. It was just kind of unfortunate. I think here mainly our hand is going to be an... Oh, he's short stacked. So we'll go half pot then. I think your hand sometimes 4-betting. So we will 4-bet. I think when you 4-bet this hand, we will call off. That is just my plan. I don't expect him to shove queens here. And we have, obviously, going to be calling. Oof. Hopefully we run it twice. Yes. Not a good start. Oh my god, great turn. Great fucking turn. Oh, we don't even have the spade out. Oh, thank god we turned it. Here we checked flop, and I think now when he checks back, we're checking range on flop close to, so I think now we can be polar. I think we could even go 150. We will be barreling through, I think. Unless it's a diamond. I block hand like queen jack hard, which could call. I don't expect him to call too much offsuit queen x. Like king queen off maybe, but king 9 I think gets in here sometimes. Oof, man. Yeah, I think jacks is not 4-betting pure, but when it does 4-bet, I think it is supposed to call off. Obviously, in your games, you have to evaluate the type of player you're playing versus. There are some players, I just know John will shove his ace king there. I think maybe even more than he's supposed to. So, just going to be electing for the call off here. And here on a high number, I will get aggressive with this hand. 41, I think we're gonna mainly lean call. Kind of block bluffs here with the 10 of spades now, so I think we're going to fold this. Obviously, you want some offsuit bluffs on a spade, but I think those can come from your king X department or your jack X department. Obviously, that would have been like the best river in the deck for us to bluff on. With the fish behind, I'll call deuces. Oh man, he just flops a fucking set, eh? What a beast. I'm sure like Zoom people in the global pool, when you play a lot of Zoom, that should be happening to you all the time. You'll just get those runs where like people just perma hit sets versus you. The lead makes some sense. He does have more 9s, 8s, and 7s than us. He has a lot more actually. I think maybe we could have justified sizing up. It is what it is though. See if we have any other tables going. We can also increase the size of our tables now to make them look better, because they look so much better when you're playing 4. I lost my Georgian trial, but I like the way the stars. I changed my the cards for this video. Just in the mood to switch back or switch to them. Pocket force here is never getting in there, I'm pretty sure. Unless you play flats, which I don't from that position. Unless there's a recreation on the big. On this board, I think we're basically pure jacking. Actually, I think ace king sometimes can bet this board. Funny enough. He might actually have some 6-5 off, so I think we have to be a bit careful. 9-7 is close to pure, I think, from here. Gonna be mainly calling these 4. On this turn, I'm trying to think if we want to bet or not. I expect the bet to just perform so well in practice. But my hand's also very strong. But you know what? We can bluff on clubs. We will bet. We have decent blockers to stronger hands. So. Also, I ever read that this player is a little too tight, so. Here's played. I think our hand might be too weak to open the river, but where's the recreational? Just don't think he has anything. I think we're going to go for it. We might be surprised by what he calls with. I think maybe we pick a smaller size. I never can seem to hit a set versus this guy. He's like Neo. I guess I just check. I would check range Norman's word. If it checks through, I'm going to reopen here for sure with the draw. The problem is on a 7 it's less clean, but I think when it checks through, they're pretty non-ace X heavy. I probably will just double it. Here I'm trying to think if I call. At this depth, there's no way. And here I'm trying to think if I 3-bet or squeeze. I'm just going to flat with the fish, keep him in the pot. In this board, I think we're mainly checking, and this number we're going to check. I think you could build a slight betting range with the hand with the king of diamonds. And here we're going to roll again, because I think when you do bet, we're going to raise really aggressively, and we're going to raise this one. A pretty sick card. I think here we can bet. If he has an 8, we can put him in a tough spot on a paired board. We're not supposed to bet too many sets here. I think the 5's a really bad card for us to bet again. We're not raising too much 5x. So I think we're going to check a hand like this. A really kind number. I could see it betting sometimes. For half pot. I think you still have a lot of hands that want to bet maybe. You know what? We will bet half pot here. Because we rolled an 80. And on the diamond, I think we will still go with it. Don't think we want to shove here. I think even on 2, this hand just never checks, so I don't know why I rolled. I think 150 is the size here. It just kind of had hard to have bluffs here now. I expect my opponent to have a good amount of full houses and stuff that could shove. Judging by the fact that he's tanking, I feel like I'm not good. God, I'm actually a psychopath. Agreed. I think if too many people watch my videos, they would see that I'm maybe too aggressive in some spots. I don't mind there. I was planning on giving up the 5 as a bad card, but I think when you roll a high enough number, you're still supposed to go with it with most of your FDs, so you need to have bluffs on flush runouts. And that seems like the perfect candidate. In the small blind, I think it's important to really do enough rolling and then get your frequencies down. My frequencies are nowhere near down, but you need to have a balanced c-betting range. You could just stick to checks, but I think you're actually dropping some EV. Because if you do both, I think it's harder to play verse, and it's not too hard to learn both. And then you need to have a balanced re-raising range, a balanced calling range, obviously. And then you need to your turn, because your raising range versus c-bet is so wide, your turn range has to be balanced. It's not like other spots where you're very, very polar. You have to figure out what you're doing. And then obviously we'll take a look at that spot after. I think I might do another study video for the session. There's been a lot of stacks going in, so it's been kind of fun. Would have been nice to not run into pocket eights. A little baby. Going to check. I think we just call here. Hope he's wailing off. Kind of shit river, but versus a 54 V fit player. Does he just beat me? I feel like when he checks, he beats me there. He seems like very nitty. He's just limping ace 10 suited. I don't think 6-5 opens here. Not much to rule here. This hand she opens 25x. I know what this hand will be doing. I think on this board, the snap check's odd because I think he actually could consider leading here. Obviously, the snap check kind of gives me a tell like he doesn't play leads. And I think on this board in general, we're just going to be checking back this hand's pure. Pretty good card. Here I expect a lot of 1/3 here, and I think we could raise a decent amount actually, surprisingly. Like we don't have to build a raising range just around nutted hands, but I think here without a heart, we're going to just mainly calling a hand like this. Here he checks again, and I think we're just going to reopen for half pot on the queen. I don't think we're ever checking this hand. And here on the river here, I think we could consider block. Because he could be range betting a 9 and then have to... Yeah, I'm going to block. Am I a cyborg? I think I'm a cyborg. Here I think we just have to call. But the problem is I think the bet is coming on the river and we're going to have to evaluate versus it. We would like a diamond here. We obviously have a good amount of flushes because we're checking back this board quite often. Let's see if I have a read on my notes. Very stationy, 4 bet on the gun call. Flop a6 suit. Flop 10 of clubs. On turn through. Likes to check raise. Oh, versus the block here, nothing to consider. Sorry, I didn't see a sizing there. I was just thinking if I was going to call an overbet on the river. And here we're just going to... I think we can size down here when he's not as deep. This hand could consider calling because of how bad this guy is in the big. Here we have nothing else to do but call here. I think at the steps, shoving is too weak. Too bad. I think here you could find... I don't know. This spot just seems so under bluff, but I also don't mind the shove. I think ace king suited shoves. I think ace king off might be... Ugh, this is so shitty. Kinda wish I ripped it. I wish I ripped it. I would have been okay with it. Gonna call here. I think he should go half pot. Okay, don't have aces. Don't expect this spot to ever be bluffed. He snap checks. I'm gonna bet 20% here on this board. I don't know why I bet 20% here. I wasn't really thinking. It's probably okay though. Kind of sucks because I think my opponent might have 7 or 6s a good amount. But we're gonna call. On turn, I think I'm gonna fold versus this player. I don't think people bluff this board. I'm actually, if I'm being real. Depends on the size he picks. If he down bets, we will continue. And on a queen river, I'll call it off. But he down bets. It really does seem like a set, doesn't it? Have a pretty easy decision here, though. And I'm gonna fold the river here. Kind of sucks. You got the maximum, but you know what? If you have 7s or 6s here, nice hand. If he has 8, 9, very proud of you. Just gonna fold. I'm gonna stick with my plan. I have ace 7 here. I have some 7s or 6s low frequency. I have aces. I'm not even supposed to call too much, and the line is under bluffed. So he shows a 3. Wow. Huh. 3 was the lower one. So it wasn't 3 deuce. We know that. What a weird line. Did he have 5-3 suited? Or does he really just have pocket 3s and blast off into the himmies? Oh well. I still don't mind. Just because they could be bluffing you doesn't mean you have to call. So good bluff by him, I guess. The no equity triple. Maybe he just felt like it. Did I flat this hand? I did. On a 9 here, it's pretty clean. Just lose to queen jack, but I don't expect him to have it too much. I'm just gonna bet here now. 9-8 here, I think mostly a fold. He did so solo. So, you know what, I'm gonna call it. We obviously get cleared by his king. He saw solo, it's weird. Versus this player, I'm just going to build the pot this deep with a hand that can make the nuts. He floats flop really wide, but I think, yeah, with 2 overs and a draw to the nuts, I don't mind betting again, even if he calls a lot. So fucking sad. Gonna check here, he has queen jack and we win. Unfortunate. This guy just owns me, I can never make a hand versus him. He's like so good. Okay, well we hit the best turn in the deck. Unfortunately it's not deep enough, so it can might have been a little better. But we're gonna bet and we will call off with our equity. We river the nuts, or he has actually a lot of flushes. We are just going to shove, hoping he has stuff. I don't think this guy bluffs. The jack was the low one, so we should have showed the king of diamonds. Kind of proves that we either had queen jack, ace jack, or king jack, so. Or pocket jacks. I wonder if he had it, John. Like, what 3 could he have? I could see him calling 5-3 suited. A7 I think is mainly a fold, but with the recreationals and the blinds, I think here we could have considered raising. I saw 2 players that I perceive as weaker, so I decided to call. And here I think our hand is good enough just to bet 2 streets for value after it checks through. I expect pocket 4s sometimes. He has a lot of other hands, but I don't expect to get any bluff equity from him, so I think we're gonna bet half pot and fold. I think he hits the 8 really hard. But I'm not. My hand's too good to not get value from shit, and I think we have an easy decision versus a jam. I just checked this one down. Maybe I was too autopilot during that hand. I was focused on the left. Probably shouldn't have been. The bet was already placed, so we already knew what we were doing. Kind of frustrated about my fold. The thing is, it's not like we're in a position where it's too hard of a decision, right? Everyone is just mucking when I have aces. Okay, never mind. I think here we're gonna go to 26. I think you call sometimes on a 67 we're going to 3-bet it. You call a good amount. But from the blinds, people are generally tighter. Because he's probably like a... Let's run it twice. 3 times for the content. Let's hold all 3. Should have ran it once. Dude, I'm gonna lose the 3rd one. Punished. Don't do it to me. Okay. We win all 3. Ah. Versus the Leafs guy, we're gonna be playing aggressive. I think we can just call here. Funny enough. Because this guy is opening so wide, he doesn't come along enough. And if we had hit a queen, it would have been so disguised. Like, or if even the board ran low. Kind of sucks here now. Gonna check again. His snap bet is, I don't know. I'm gonna call. And evaluate river. I think we have an easy decision now on the river. So unfortunate. You could say he's never bluffing here, but I don't know. He might be valuing it out. This guy is very, I don't know. He just owns me. He's just so good. Like, he literally is so good. I think he's like actually, I don't know. I shouldn't rant about how bad a player is, but it's okay. You can think I'm bad too, but it's just he's been playing every day, and he somehow has money left. I don't get it. He's playing half his fucking hands and playing like a total idiot. But he just hits every flop. Most absurd rate. Flop comes A7, rivers. I don't know. Nice hand. He does bluff though, and obviously in this video we've seen him just only have value, but he does bluff, and I think that spot's easy for him to be over bluffing. I mean, he's calling almost pure versus a 3-bet. Kind of frustrated. Here I think our hand mainly just folds. I think it actually might be a pure call, now that I think about it. The big is supposed to be pretty aggressive onto you. In practice, I feel like they're just not. So I don't mind folding a hand like that that performs pretty bad. Shouldn't show my notes. It should be pretty private, but whatever. They're not really anything. I don't really take too many notes. I should take more, but I'm just not. I just don't really care recently. To be too exploitative. I think notes matter more against fish. This guy hit 3-7. Did he call it an all-in with 3-7? What happened? How did he stack this guy? 15, 3-bet, calls, big, all-in, 3-7. What? How do you get rid of this? What is going on with my bottom table? We have Jack 10. I'm trying to evaluate, so I will raise that. How do you get rid of this? Oh, is it on my Streamlabs? Is that why? Yeah, okay. Thank God. I'll probably record for 15 more minutes. Should have sized up here, but this opponent, I don't mind sizing a little down. Hopefully he doesn't have pocket fucking 9s. I think we can play half pot range here. Close to it, and I like the way my hand performs as a bet. On the 10, I'm trying to think if we value bet now or value bet river, and I think I like value bet river. The diamond is kind of eh. It's a pretty easy call. Even though, like, you could say the fish is under bluffing. We could maybe get some more value, but I'll just call here. Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ. God, we didn't go for some more value. Oh my god. A lot of run good and a lot of run bad this session so far. Mainly running good versus the regs and running absolutely atrocious versus the recreational players. I'm like your classic bad beat player. Like, you don't understand they're so bad, but they just suck out every time. That's me right now. Like, this guy actually is inhumanly good. His blue line is probably to the moon and back. It might even just be pure red line because of, like, how much value he hits. We have a good hand here, and everyone is just insta-mucking. This Roberts guy is aggressive. Hopefully he has something. Last time I thought that, and then it got to the big, and then we got into our spot. So, you know, never the story's never over, you know? I don't know if that's the right thing to say. Gonna check back on this board. He calls. I think on this board, I'm trying to think what we want to do. With the double unblocker, I'm sure ace is one a bit pure. You unblock so much of the calling range, and I think half pot makes a lot of sense. He's supposed to shove most of his queens and tens, but in practice, is that happening? He should never have queens. He has ace queen a good amount, even the offsuit version. So I don't mind. I don't think of down bet makes too much sense with this type of hand. So I'm gonna play half pot. Oh man, I'm gonna break my monitor. I think on this card we just check, like close to range. If he shoves, we're gonna call. It's just so unfortunate. And here I think we just give up with the 10 of diamonds. Did we lose the pocket 4s? I expect him to find the check back with a lot of queen X. I think here we shove though. Because I don't think he's reopening as a bluff, and I think our hand's still good enough to get value. In practice, he might never call worse, but I'm gonna shove. He didn't snap. Oh, he didn't snap. So we should be not losing this hand. Okay. I like the shove on the river. I think it's hard to call there, so I think I'm gonna. I'd actually find bluffs on that spot. I think he is. Like, it's really easy to just have a like bunch of ace jack and ace king, right? Like, your ranges are so wide. I think you're supposed to 4-bet ace jack off pure from these spots. Very close to it. Ace jack suited obviously flatting. I think when he checks back, he doesn't have too many bluffs. And maybe he's like a little more reluctant to bluff river. I could be wrong though. He did tank a bit, so I think he had something. I think we want to target 10x. We don't have the greatest suits to target 10x. I'll look at that spot in the recording. Probably ended at 45 minutes. Unless I get some interesting hands. How wide is this guy opening? I'm just gonna muck this hand. Sucks there, I wanted to get paid, but whatever. It is what it is. He called half pot on flop. Yeah, I think we have a good hand to go for value here. Maybe the ace isn't too good, but it also weights him less to ace x. Hands like ace jack, and I guess he never has ace 9 suited in this 9. Maybe with the double unblocker here, actually. Because I think you might check back a good amount of spades. So maybe you want a spade here that bet half pot on flop. I'm trying to think here if we want to 3-bet at this depth. I think you try to incorporate everything. And the John is very deep here. I think here 1/3 with range still performs pretty fine. Could be wrong. I'll take a look. I'll take a look at it, but I might not put it in the video because it's just pretty boring. And I think here we're just folding. Actually, I think here we're gonna call. He's supposed to be aggressive. I don't know in practice how aggressive he's being. Maybe we. This is the problem with 1/3 with range because folding hearts here feels so bad. I think if we're betting 1/3 with range, we have to continue wide. I think a lot of his bluffs do have jack X in it. Here I think we're checking close to range. And on the river here I'm just gonna bet. It is what it is. I think here when he sizes big, I think mainly raising the queens. This guy is very tight though. So be a bit cautious. I don't think overbet here makes too much sense. It's just so good. Just so good. The ace of hearts, I think we're going to check here. I don't think 1/3 makes too much sense. I think we're just going to go for the check and evaluate. 1/3 could make sense. The ace is a good card for us. I don't expect to get too much bluff equity with this guy, so I'm going to make an exploitative block. I don't like obviously my range looks like what it is, but I don't think he's going to. He's very tight. I don't think he's gonna rip because I look like I have a hand. Kind of wish I just folded flop. I think it's hard to find raises here as a bluff. Like enough of them to warrant me floating this hand. It feels incorrect to call. Almost maybe, I think I just tilted because I should have checked flop probably. But I don't know. Usually you don't get, yeah, I don't know. Just a weird line. Sometimes when you're bluffing, you feel like you're just perma over bluffing, right? But not really in that spot. I mean, I'm calling all the suited ace X and bluffing them, but what else do I really have? I'm not gonna bluff clubs. The straight draws you basically got there because the jack hit, so I just have to go with that, right? I feel like I am down a good amount, but I could be wrong. Been playing for 39 minutes, so I'll record a couple more hands and end the video here. I might do 2 today if the next one's interesting. I just usually like to record when I play now. It's just like more enjoyable for me. I don't know. I feel like I play better. And if I have like an interesting hand, I like showing it to people. Let's look at the pool. Am I in all the tables? I'm not in this 2-5. I might hop in it. Enjoying the 4 tables right now though. Let's see how we're doing in our leaderboard run on stars. 32 hands left. Oh, we have a good shot. It's a good sweat. This is not a good start though. Okay, pocket twos, it's like pretty bad, but it's not the end of the world, I think. What is it? It's times 4 for a pair, so it's 16. That's still pretty bad, actually. Generally, pocket pairs are the nuts. So we just want to get some more high pocket pairs to close this out. Oh, you see the king and you think, if you don't know what the leaderboard is, if anyone doesn't play on stars, it's you get points based on the starting hand you get. Like a 2's worth 2, an ace is worth 14 or 13. Dude, I'm like blanking on how many cards are in the deck, right? Yeah. Ace is worth 13, and what's it called? You get multipliers. Like if you have a suited connector, I think here we can call one. Play the board. Which is 2x overbet here. In the check line. It's so hard to have bluffs, so you kind of block them. We haven't even had a chance to have like ace x. He might think I'm never checking king 10, but I can call other stuff. I don't know what he's doing that with. It feels like bluffy as fuck. I mean, we unblock all the bluffs, but I think calling for a chop here is pretty dumb. I think you want at least pocket 5s so you can win. We had a good hand to raise, actually, as a bluff. We should have raised. I'm actually really mad at myself that I missed that. That was a very good hand to raise as a bluff. And I'm actually kind of frustrated I missed that. I'm almost positive we should have raised that hand when we call it. Here I'm just going to be betting half pot, like most of the time. I expect it to perform well. Okay, ace queen's pretty good for cards wise, just because it has 2 high ones. Gonna be checking now when we pick up no equity or anything. I want to bluff river, but it feels like he just always has something. Guess we just check. He probably has a low pocket pair. Yeah. I feel like he would have called with it though. This guy is like, maybe I have just the wrong read on this player and he's got me figured out. Just so frustrating playing versus him. Like, how does he just always have the winning showdown hand? You're on this board. The ace of spades is not too appealing. I don't think we can range bet it, so I think we're just gonna build checks here. God, ever since I mentioned the leaderboard thing, we have been kind of shitting the bed. We need 20 more hands, and what do we need? Let's look at what we need to, gotta check again here on this board. What do we need to, oh wow, it's a really high scoring one today. We need at least 4,300, so yeah, we're drawing dead. Normally like 4K you can actually get something. So he just goes huge out of the small blind for some reason. How often does he do it? It's versus a recreational. My read is he's going very big because it's a recreational. But last time we did this, he had pocket 8s. This could be a spot for us. Last time we did this, we had kings. You know what? I'm gonna take it. Nice. I'm gonna do it again. Okay. Would been fucking hilarious. The guy would have called cold forward twice and won him by the same fucking guy. I should go 10.5 here. Probably. And here on this river, I'm just gonna call a block. Okay, that sucks. Going to be calling here. I think you can maybe justify shoving, but I don't think so. Expect him to be checking, betting this board a good amount. Though I think he actually does have to build checks, but I don't think we attack him with this part of our range. I could be wrong though. You could go for it. We don't block ace queen suited, which is actually kind of bad. But he's not forwarding ace queen suited. Kind of wailing off here. This is just so stupid. We're gonna shove now. Oh my god, he's tanking. Absolutely owned. I don't know. We'll look at this hand. We're probably just making a huge EVR. I was thinking what bluffs we have on this board, and I was struggling to find any. And if he's playing 1/3 with range with all of his hands, right? We unblock so much of his folding range. But the thing is, if he's 4-betting ace-5 suited, we kind of want him to have that. I wonder if he folded an overpair, though. Like, he just always has queens here. Imagine. That would be so nitty. But anyway, yeah. He could have had jacks, maybe. This guy does 4-bet a lot. But normally I wouldn't recommend doing that because I think from the blinds people are tighter. But I know this guy does find the 4-bets. If anything, he might overdo it, so. Okay. Hopefully you saw the last hand. I don't think it's anyone from the same table. I could be wrong. Like, obviously I don't know all the connections of these players, but. Going to go to 8 here. Maybe Leafs will come along. Give Leafs kings. No, actually don't. He'll hit it for sure. Okay, I mean, I obviously would prefer him with kings, but still. Folds. Cold call. Hopefully now it shoves. That would be so sick. Terrible flop. I'm going to be checking back here. If the 7 comes off, I just lose. I accept that. Ah, man. One of those fun aces spots. If he shoves, I don't know how I call. Especially with this guy behind. It's just a terrible spot. I think I just have to fold. It's so sick. Just have it, moves, please, so I can feel fine about my fold. Yes, dude! Why does he like 3 times? Here I think mainly playing 1/3, especially with ace king. I think. Actually, I think you can size up here. With the ace king. I think actually having the club is fine in this spot. It's on a 3-bet pot, ranges aren't so tight, and I think it just adds extra EV to the hand and playability on other runouts. I think you actually probably bet more with the club here. Anyway, I'm gonna be wrapping up this video kind of soon. It's been pretty insane so far. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I'm gonna do a review video of the session after this. I don't really care for the totals, so of how much I'm up or down on video. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for the review video.